Hey, good afternoon, Justice Warriors. It's Wednesday. It's May 24th. It's almost 2:30 in the afternoon. And man, has this case with the Idaho 4 just been blowing up? I'm trying to shift gears. I'm trying to shift back into the Kylie Rodney case. And there's so much work to be done there. Can you believe that so much time has elapsed and that case has just been completely stagnant? It's unreal. So, the Kylie Rodney case and the Idaho 4 case, both of these cases have me so stymied in that these people who are no longer of the living were in the company of their friends when whatever tragedy occurred, and there were friends that were completely unscathed and oblivious to what happened. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it in the Kylie Rodney case. I'm not buying it in the Idaho 4. So let me get started with my disclaimer. Everything I say is simply my opinion. It's simply for the sake of conversation. I hope to open up a discussion. I hope to learn something. I hope that my videos are educational. I make all my videos specifically for YouTube ever since they arrested this guy, in that he doesn't seem to have any connection with that house or with the people in that house. So why would he go there? How would he know how to get around? How would he be so confident to go into a home that's full of people all the time? And to do this in what, 14 minutes or less, all by himself? I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. What does make sense, and I've said this before, is that this was a coordinated effort, that there was something planned, that there were many parties involved, many people that were aware of it. And I don't know. I'm not saying that that's a sure thing because obviously I don't know. So these are just questions that I have. One of the things that's really been troubling me since that Dateline came out a few days ago on the Idaho 4 is how Keith Morrison said that Brian Kohberger's sister was suspicious that maybe it was him that committed these crimes, since he had the white Hyundai Elantra. He was wearing latex gloves at home over Christmas break, and he lived in a relatively close proximity to where these crimes happened. So, first off, he had the wrong year of a car. So, if they're putting out the word that they have their FBI expert that nailed it down to a Hyundai Elantra from 2011 to 2013, then I would think his sister could rest easy knowing that his is a 2015 and that these FBI folks are absolute experts and they know what they're talking about. So, my other problem with it is, how would anybody know that? How would anybody know if she were concerned? How did that get to Keith Morrison and to the Dateline producers? And I've said this before. It's my feeling that if you know anybody who lived in that area and drove a white Elantra, and you didn't know for sure what their alibi was that night, that you'd be kind of ignorant to not at least consider the possibility that perhaps there was some involvement there. No matter how much you love this person, no matter how much you have trouble wrapping your mind around the person that you know and care about doing something so awful. We all have to be realistic, right? So I also want to say that even if his sister thought he was guilty, that doesn't mean that he actually is guilty. I know he looks as guilty as they come, but that's what is such a huge red flag to me, or flashing red neon sign. It's just too much information. It's like an ace in the hole, and we all know there's no such thing. That's what makes me suspicious that it's a coordinated effort, and that people in positions of authority are behind it. I hate to say that. I know how crazy it sounds, you guys. I know how crazy that sounds. So it's just an idea, it's just a question. I also wanted to address people harping on Judge for getting Kaylee and Xana's names wrong, the enunciation. It is hard. And he said that. He said it's hard. He even apologized. He said, I'm sorry that I'm messing up their names. This is hard. And I don't think he meant that these names were hard. I think he meant that he was having an emotional process with what was going on in his court that day and his responsibility to the victims and to our constitutional rights for the defendant. I really applaud Judge for admonishing the press the way he did. I mentioned this yesterday. I don't know if it's within his purview to be able to order them to apologize and to retract their statements. But if it is, by all means, I think that he should do that, because the damage has been done. You know, that ship has sailed. Anything at this point is a day late and a dollar short. But the sources where that information came from, disseminating it to the public, them apologizing and retracting their statements is the only thing, I believe, that could put a dent in the damage, the irreparable damage that's been done as far as getting an impartial jury. Oh, please hit that like button, share, subscribe, and ring your bell if you like to have notifications. I don't know about you guys, but like I said, when there's 20,000 pieces of evidence, almost 10,000 tips, and 51 terabytes of evidence that all is counting against him, that screams being railroaded, in my opinion, in my experience. So, why would the prosecution want to hide their evidence from the public and from the defense? Why did they decide last minute to do what they did? So let me talk about the Kiely Rodni case for a minute. The video that Shanda did a couple days ago, that I put the link in the description of my video yesterday, just a short where she has close-ups of Mags and some of the things that were said about Kiely. Sammy's voice, I think, over in the background, overlaid. Mags knows exactly what happened to Kiely. Sammy knows exactly what happened to Kiely. Why these persons of interest have not been through a process similar to what Kohberger's going through right now. It's unbelievable. And why the two surviving witnesses have not been scrutinized by law enforcement is what makes law enforcement so suspect to me, in my opinion. That's exactly what does it. That and the delays. Their 8-hour delay is suspect, and law enforcement needs to address that. Law enforcement, the lead detective and the sergeant, taking 4 hours to show up to the crime scene. It's ludicrous, you guys. Then, to add insult to injury, they're not being investigated for that. There should be an investigation into the lead detective taking 4 hours to show up to the crime scene, in my humble opinion. I used to work in the courts. I've literally worked in the courts in King County Superior Court. I was a supervisor there. So I know a lot about how our court system works, but that's Washington State, and that is very different than what's going on in Idaho. Every case is different, every state is different. This case is unique in so many ways. And I'm sure it's going to continue to blow our minds. So my heart just goes out to these victims and to their families. Seriously. Absolutely. And if Brian Kohberger did it, then I hope he gets his just dessert. If there's more to it, if there's anybody else involved, you guys, this is a really, really dangerous predicament. Absolutely. So many questions. So many questions. So thanks for watching. I appreciate your guys' support. I think I'm going to be getting my monetization up and running soon. We'll see. It's just ridiculous. It's like so simple yet impossible. So I keep trying. I thought I had it a couple days ago, but we're almost there. So, again, I really appreciate your support. Please hit your like button, ring your notification bell, share, subscribe if you enjoy these videos and feel like you get something out of them. I want to say before I wrap up that I was really surprised with my video yesterday that people didn't just come at me with arrows in the comment section. When I watched my video, I was just like, wow, can I really say this? But I went ahead and put it out there, and I was surprised so many people seemed to agree with me. There were only one or two the last time I checked the comments that were kind of abrasive. I really expected people to flip out over that. So you just never know. Life is full of surprises. I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope that you can get your rest, your relaxation, your exercise, sunshine, fresh air, good nourishment, and kindness. Kindness prevails. So be kind to yourself, be kind to others, forgive yourself, forgive others, and just keep going. Just keep moving forward. That's all we can do. Keep living, keep learning. So thanks so much for watching, and see you on the next one. Have a great afternoon. Thanks again.